What happens when a ruthless school bully picks the wrong girl? This is the story of Alina Khan, a transfer student at Ridgewood High. She wanted a fresh start, but instead walked straight into the path of Derek Stone, the most feared boy in school. What Derek didn't know was that Alina carried a secret that would soon bring him to his knees. Alina stepped off the old yellow bus, her backpack slung over one shoulder. Ridgewood High looked like every other school she had tried to escape. Noisy, crowded, full of strangers. But Alina had learned one thing from all her moves: never show fear. In the hallway, Derek Stone shoved past her, knocking her books to the floor. His friends laughed as he grinned. To his surprise, Alina didn't cry, didn't plead. She calmly picked up her books, looked him straight in the eye, and said, "You'll regret that." For the first time, Derek felt uneasy. Lunch was chaos. Derek sat at the center table, king of the room, while Alina sat alone in the corner. She could feel his eyes on her, testing her. But she didn't react. She just ate quietly, almost as if she was waiting. That silence? It got under Derek's skin. After class, Derek blocked Alina's path outside the school. "Think you're too good for us?" he sneered. But before he could finish, a black sports car screeched to a stop in front of them. The door opened, and a strong, famous-looking man stepped out. Alina smiled. "Still think I'm alone?" Derek's smirk disappeared, his friends falling silent. For the first time, the bully had no words. Derek couldn't stand being ignored. The next day, whispers spread through Ridgewood High. He told everyone that Alina thought she was better than the rest. His lies spread like wildfire, but instead of defending herself, Alina stayed quiet. She knew. The truth always comes out. Later that week, Alina opened her locker only to find it covered in insults and garbage stuffed inside. Derek and his friends watched from a distance, waiting for her to cry. But she didn't. She simply cleaned the mess, shut her locker, and walked away with her head held high. In history class, the teacher announced a surprise quiz. Derek failed miserably. Alina, however, scored the highest. When the teacher praised her, Derek's face burned with jealousy. The more she shined, the weaker his power felt. In gym class, Derek tried to trip Alina during basketball. Instead, she sidestepped with ease, and he fell flat on the floor. The whole class burst into laughter. For the first time, the mighty Derek looked like a fool. That afternoon, Alina noticed another student being picked on. Instead of walking away, she helped him up, shared her lunch, and gave him courage. Slowly, people began to see that Alina wasn't weak. She was strong in ways Derek could never understand. Derek sat in the locker room, his friends laughing around him. But inside, he was boiling. No matter what he did, Alina never reacted. She wasn't scared, she wasn't angry, and that terrified him. Bullies feed on fear. Without it, Derek felt powerless. During lunch, Derek stood on a chair in the cafeteria and called Alina out in front of everyone. "Why don't you fight back?" "Scared?" His gang cheered, waiting for her to break. But Alina simply stood, walked to the center of the room, and faced him calmly. Alina looked him straight in the eyes and said, "The louder you are, the more empty you sound." A hush fell over the cafeteria. Derek froze, his face red with rage. For the first time, the crowd saw through his mask. Later, Derek's closest friends whispered among themselves. "She's not even scared," one muttered. "Maybe Derek isn't as tough as we thought." Doubt began to spread through the group. and Derek could feel his control slipping away. Finally, Derek was called into the principal's office. "One more incident, Derek, and you're suspended." His jaw clenched. Outside the office, Alina walked past with a quiet smile. She hadn't lifted a finger, yet Derek was the one facing punishment. The next morning, whispers filled the halls. Students were no longer laughing with Derek, they were laughing at him. Word spread that the new girl had connections, powerful ones, but no one knew what the truth was. Cornering her by the lockers, Derek demanded answers. "Who do you think you are?" Alina simply adjusted her backpack and replied, "You'll see soon enough." Her calm confidence shook him more than any insult could. That afternoon, as students poured out of the building, a sleek black sports car pulled up to the curb. The engine roared, heads turned. When the window rolled down, everyone froze. Sitting behind the wheel was none other than a famous face, Alina's uncle, a well-known action star. Derek, who had been waiting to taunt her again, suddenly lost his voice. His smirk vanished. For the first time, he wasn't the predator. He was the prey. The entire school saw the fear flash in his eyes. Alina didn't need to say a word. She simply walked to the car, got in, and left with her uncle. The silence she left behind was louder than any speech. Derek's reign as the untouchable bully was officially broken. By the next day, Derek's power was gone. His friends avoided him, afraid of being dragged down. Students who once feared him now mocked him behind his back. For the first time, Derek walked the halls alone. Desperate to take back control, Derek tried to corner Alina one last time after school. But this time there was no crowd, no audience. Just him, trembling with rage, and Alina, calm, steady, unshaken. Alina stepped closer, her voice steady. "I don't need to fight you, Derek. You already lost, not to me, but to yourself." Her words cut deeper than any punch ever could. The principal, already watching his every move, suspended Derek after reports of his behavior piled up. His so-called friends abandoned him. The school had a new message: fear doesn't win forever. Alina never wanted to be a hero. She just refused to be a victim. She showed that true strength doesn't come from fists, or fear, or power. It comes from patience, from knowing your worth, and from letting others destroy themselves with their own arrogance. And that day, Clearview High learned an unforgettable lesson. A bully's power only lasts until someone refuses to play their game.